Hello, hello. Let me start with something I hear constantly. I took off time and I'm still exhausted. I slowed down and I feel even worse. I rested, but the dread, the anxiety, it came right back. And what and then comes the shame. What's wrong with me? Why can't I recover like everyone else or like I used to? Why am I still tired? I'm doing all the right things. Here's the truth I want to name right out of the gate. You're not burned out because you're doing too much, even if it feels like it. You're burned out because your system is incoherent. And rest, real rest, does not happen when the body is still in survival. Today, we're going to talk about why rest alone isn't working anymore, what burnout actually is, and what it isn't. Why high functioning people are the most at risk, how field and form explains exhaustion, and what actually restores energy without losing ambition, purpose, or momentum. If you've ever thought, I just need a break, and then realized the break didn't touch the deeper exhaustion, this episode is for you. Welcome to the Aligned Human Project podcast, where consciousness meets creation and hustle gives way to harmony. I'm Dawn Elgin, contrarian soul guide, spiritual CEO, and founder of Practical Spiritualism. This is a space where we explore what it truly means to be human, aligned, awakened, and in flow with the field of life itself. Together, we'll bridge science and spirit, energy and embodiment, purpose and prosperity, so you can remember who you are beneath the programming and reclaim the power to create in full alignment with your soul. Because the next evolution of humanity isn't out there, it's in here. This is the Aligned Human Project. Today's episode is brought to you by our favorite sponsor, me. If burnout has been living in your body, I want you to start with a free resource I created called Burnout to Alignment. It will actually help you see exactly where your energy is leaking and why rest hasn't been enough. You'll find the link in the show notes. And if you're ready to go deeper, Align Your Life through coaching is where we embark this work month by month, not as theory, but as lived practice. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. Welcome back. Before we talk about fixing anything, I want to reframe burnout, because how we define the problem determines the solution. Most people think burnout means that they're doing too much, they're working too hard, that they need a vacation. Maybe they need better time management. But burnout is not a scheduling issue. Burnout is a nervous system issue. It happens when your body is constantly bracing. Your system is always anticipating. Your mind is scanning for a threat. Your emotions are unprocessed. Your values are violated daily. Your energy is fragmented. You can lie on a beach and still be braced. You can sleep 8 hours and wake up exhausted. You can slow down and still feel panicked. It's not failure. That's your body, your nervous system saying, still not safe. I can't tell you how many people I have worked with who say something along the lines of, I finally took time off and I fell apart. They planned the vacation. They cleared the calendar. They told themselves, now I can rest. And the moment that they stopped, tears, anxiety, exhaustion, irritability, emotional collapse. That's not because rest caused the breakdown. It's because rest removed the distraction. When we're constantly moving, producing, fixing, doing, we stay in sympathetic drive. When we stop, the nervous system finally has space to surface what it's been carrying. Burnout is not a lack of rest, it's actually a lack of regulation. This is where the laws help us understand what's happening. With the law of power, your power actually lives in the presence, not in productivity. The law of flow, forcing life actually drains energy, whereas alignment restores it. The law of dominion, no one can regulate your nervous system but you. Burnout happens when we live outside of the present moment, when we override the body's signals, stay in obligation instead of alignment, carry emotion, carry emotional labor that isn't ours. High achievers are especially vulnerable to burnout because they're really, really good at pushing through discomfort, overriding fatigue, normalizing stress, being the strong one, and functioning despite depletion. This was my story. On the outside, life looked good: career, family, success, competence. On the inside, flat, empty, tired, disconnected, and questioning everything. This is what I call high functioning burnout. It's one of the most misunderstood states. I certainly did not get it because the system was still working. No one realizes it's breaking, including you. From the field and form lens, what's happening is the law of becoming. You've become the one that holds everything together. The law of reflection. Life mirrors your self abandonment. And the law of flow. Control masquerades as responsibility. Burnout often comes from being misaligned with your values, not from effort itself. Here's the part people don't want to hear: you cannot rest your way out of misalignment. I'm sorry, I tried really hard. If you say yes when your body says no, when you stay in environments that violate your values, when you suppress emotion to keep things moving or please others, when you ignore your intuition, when you live in obligation instead of devotion, rest becomes a band-aid. Think about it. You rest all weekend, and Sunday night arrives. Your body tightens, your chest contracts, your mind starts racing. That's not because you didn't rest enough. That's because your life isn't aligned. Your nervous system knows it, even if your mind argues. And the good news? You don't have to burn your life down. As a matter of fact, if you quit your job or leave your relationship first, you will most likely end up in a similar situation all over again. Why? Because coherence isn't an outside job, it's an inside one. So, what actually heals burnout then? Burnout requires coherence, not collapse. So, first, presence over productivity. Short pauses throughout the day regulate more than long breaks you never fully enter. Using conscious breathing throughout the day to help you be present. Use conscious breathing throughout the day to help you be present. 2, alignment over control. Ask yourself daily, what am I forcing that needs to be released? What do I need to let go of? This might be things that start with words like should or could. 3, emotional completion. Feel emotions in real time so they don't accumulate as fatigue. Brain dump on paper to allow the full cycle of thinking and feeling to be released. This will also help draw awareness to things that are hiding underneath the surface of our behaviors or frustrations. And 4, value-based living. Burnout often lifts when values are honored, even before circumstances change. Your values are your own unique constellation that allows us to check in with ourselves, make sure that we're doing the right thing, we're moving in the right direction for us. We need to be in alignment with all of our values and not just some. There was a point just last year that I was working on my business. I was creating programs that aligned with my purpose, which is sovereignty. I was creating content for YouTube and I was writing a book. However, I started to feel really anxious around October. At first, I couldn't put my finger on it, and I assumed that it was financial. It's always been where my anxiousness has come from. And this actually went on for months, and I could not figure out why. I'd created a group coaching program, something that I thought I was supposed to do based on where my business was at the time and my time that I had. The program itself was good, and yet I could feel myself resist. At first, I assumed it was self-doubt. And then finally, in the winter, I realized that I liked the program for one-on-one, but I didn't feel quite right for group work. I was pushing myself to fit into what everybody else was recommending or saying I needed to do with my business. And I was actually overriding my own internal objections. As soon as I shifted it and focused on what felt right for me, the anxiety eased. My energy actually went way up, and I even started this podcast. I felt myself go back into flow. Often, all we need to do is make small tweaks. Sometimes it's going to lead to major changes, but often it doesn't need to. Often, what we need to do is take a look. Where am I out of alignment for me? What am I doing to conform to fit in with everyone else? What doesn't feel like it's resonating? Often, it's something that we justify. We justify our behaviors, our choices, our decisions, either to or against. There are little warnings that will help us every single time get back into alignment. We just need to figure out how to read them and how to get so attuned with them that we catch it more quickly, more efficiently. Now, this is a good time for a real quick pause. If this episode is hitting home, I want you to take the alignment audit or the Burnout to Alignment Blueprint. Both are free and will show you where coherence is missing. And if you're ready to walk this path with support, Align Your Life group coaching is open. And it's designed for people who don't want to burn their lives down to feel better. All right, let's go ahead and bring this home. Let's talk about some practices to restore coherence. So the first thing that I want to share with you is brain dumping. Now, this idea came from actually doing creative writing, where you set a timer and you free write for a few minutes, for maybe 3 pages or 10 minutes, whatever. For myself, I started doing this as a brain dump. So I do it first thing in the morning when I wake up. And I start with good morning, because I often write as if I'm writing to my soul or to God. And then I just start talking about my emotions. Good morning. I woke up this morning feeling anxious. Not sure why I feel anxious. Here's all the things I have on my list. Here's the things I need to do that I haven't done. And so I just start writing and writing and writing. And then what starts to come up are little pieces of information. And so brain dumping is a way to help us get beneath the surface and start realizing what is underneath. Maybe we wake up and we say, I feel normal or fine, or I just need to get things done. But if we take the few minutes to start dumping onto paper, for one, we become more aware of what's there, of things that are maybe under the surface that we don't want to look at. And it's a great way for us to clear the field, to clear out any unprocessed emotions or thoughts or worries or concerns about the day ahead. The second thing that I'm going to give you is something that I do every day, which is heart coherence breathing. It is very simple, and let's go ahead and do it together so that you can get a feel for this. Even if you're driving, you do not need to close your eyes, although it can be a wonderful experience if it's safe to do so. So what we want to do is go ahead and take our hand and place our hand on our heart. Now, this can be your whole hand, or it can be even just your fingertips pressing towards your breastbone, just to bring all of your awareness towards your heart. And as you bring your awareness to your heart, start to slow your breath down. About 4 counts, 5 counts, inhale and out, both moving through the nose. And just start to allow it to naturally slow. Find the rhythm. And as we find that rhythm, bring to mind a memory or someone, something, some place that you are grateful for. Gratitude or appreciation. It can also be someone, something that you have compassion for. One of our heart coherence emotions. And just let yourself bring it to your mind. Let yourself feel the expression on your face. Maybe your eyes soften. Maybe your lips soften. The corners of your lips turn up and the hint of a smile. And we just find that rhythm. Find the breath. And just allow the energy of gratitude, of appreciation, of compassion to permeate you, to fill your chest, to fill your limbs. Feel it in your skin, and even feel it resonate all around you. Allowing your heart to be the epicenter. So at each breath in, we breathe into the heart and we strengthen it. And each breath out, it ripples out of us. And we can do this practice over and over throughout the day. I love to do this practice even while I'm driving. So I'll just take one hand, put the fingertips to my chest, and go. Another thing that we can do is a boundary check-in. What am I doing today out of obligation? And what would alignment look like instead? And then for an evening completion, name one moment you honored yourself, one moment you didn't, without any judgment. Just notice it. Burnout heals through relationship with self, not willpower. Burnout is not the end. It's a signal, a call back to yourself, a call back to truth, a call back to alignment. And when you listen, when you stop forcing and start relating, energy returns. Not because you rested harder, but because you came back home to you. Remember, take a pause, take one conscious breath, feel, notice your emotions, the sensations in your body, and then align with your values and who you choose to be. You are not here to fix yourself. You are here to remember yourself. Because when you align with your truth, everything else begins to align with you. If this episode sparked something inside you, hit follow or subscribe and share it with someone walking their own path of awakening. And if you're ready to go deeper, you'll find free resources, programs, and community spaces waiting for you at practicalspiritualismco.com. Remember, alignment isn't a place you reach. It's a practice you live. So keep pausing, keep feeling, keep aligning. You are the field. You shape the form.